What happens when design becomes the most powerful form of storytelling? Welcome to my channel, where we explore the craft behind iconic television. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most visually unforgettable series of our time, The Handmaid's Tale. As the walls of Gilead begin to crumble and the final chapters unfold, we dive into how this dystopian epic was meticulously brought to life, one chilling, breathtaking frame at a time. Over 6 powerful seasons, The Handmaid's Tale has redefined how dystopias are depicted on screen. Hulu's adaptation of Margaret Atwood's chilling novel stands not only as a cultural touchstone, but as a masterclass in visual storytelling. Every element, costumes, color schemes, lighting, and architecture, was chosen to reflect the ruthless ideology of Gilead and the quiet strength of resistance within it. This deep-dive documentary, Designing Dystopia, gives us a rare look behind the scenes, revealing how production designers, costume artists, set decorators, and cinematographers worked in perfect sync to craft a world that feels hauntingly real and emotionally raw. Design in The Handmaid's Tale isn't just about aesthetic, it's about symbolism. Every fabric, every building, every shaft of light speaks volumes. The rigid visuals mirror the rigid control of the regime: muted greens, icy blues, sterile grays. The handmaids' now iconic red cloaks and white bonnets are more than uniforms. They're metaphors for fertility, danger, and submission. The wives wear cold shades of blue, hinting at emotional detachment and repressed power. Marthas in utilitarian greens blend into the background of servitude. And the aunts, cloaked in earthy browns, represent indoctrination cloaked as tradition. The lack of individuality in dress echoes the loss of identity, one of the series' most potent themes. The sets, filmed largely in Ontario, use real-world brutalist and colonial architecture to evoke a society steeped in historical regression and harsh control. Residences of power, like the commanders' homes, are grand yet emotionally sterile. Public spaces, such as the Red Center, the colonies, and the execution walls, are designed to strip both characters and viewers of comfort, reinforcing Gilead's omnipresent surveillance. The camera work itself is part of the storytelling. Tight close-ups on June's face capture her internal battle and isolation. Symmetrical shots convey hierarchy. Long pauses and silence are used as narrative tools, making the viewer feel the same emotional claustrophobia as the characters. Windows, staircases, and mirrors are more than just props. They become metaphors for resistance, transformation, and entrapment. Even the way lighting shifts, introducing warmer tones during moments of rebellion or personal awakening, adds depth to the evolving emotional landscape. As the story progresses and the foundations of Gilead begin to fracture, so too does its visual world. Once pristine interiors become fractured. Uniforms wear down. Order decays. And with every sign of chaos comes a visual signal of change. June's path toward freedom is marked by bursts of natural color, open skies, and light replacing shadow. These changes don't just support the narrative, they are the narrative. Designing Dystopia isn't just a behind-the-scenes look. It's a tribute to the creative minds who turned Atwood's terrifying vision into a tangible world. Through design, The Handmaid's Tale didn't just show us Gilead, it made us feel it. As the series concludes, what remains is not just a tale of resistance and control, but a powerful lesson in how design, when done with purpose, can shape the very soul of a story. At the center of this season is Amy's journey into motherhood, a role she embraces with the same fierce love she gives to every horse she's ever healed. But it's not without its struggles. Balancing late-night feedings with early morning training sessions, Amy discovers a new kind of strength, one that blends her independence with the vulnerability of being a mom. And Nathan? He's stepping up in ways that will make you cheer, proving that fatherhood suits him perfectly. The birth itself is a heartland classic, quiet, intimate, and overflowing with emotion. Amy chooses to deliver at home, surrounded by the people who mean the most: Jack, Lou, Lisa, and of course Nathan, whose unwavering support shines brighter than ever. When their baby finally arrives, named Lila Ty for a girl or Lucas Jack for a boy, it's a moment that ties past and future together, honoring Ty's memory while celebrating the new love Amy and Nathan have built. But life on the ranch doesn't pause for parenthood. Amy's return to the stables is bittersweet. She's torn between her passion for horses and the guilt of leaving her child, even for a few hours. Nathan, meanwhile, battles his own demons, haunted by his fractured childhood, but determined to break the cycle for his son or daughter. And let's not forget the rest of the family. Jack, wiping away tears as he holds his great-grandchild. Lou, the overprepared auntie. And even Tim, whose gruff exterior softens every time the baby giggles. The season's most powerful theme? Legacy. This child isn't just a new character. It's the living embodiment of Heartland's spirit. From Amy whispering stories about Ty to the horses, to Nathan building a cradle with his own hands, every moment reminds us that family isn't just about blood. It's about love, resilience, and the land that binds them all together. Certainly. Here's an extended continuation of the YouTube documentary-style script from where the previous part left off, maintaining the same tone, format, and length. As Gilead's structures fracture, we begin to see the world outside its borders reflected more clearly, both literally and symbolically. The contrast between Gilead and places like Canada becomes more than geographic. It's visual storytelling at its finest. In these freer lands, color returns with greater vibrance. Natural light pours through open windows, and the spaces breathe with emotional warmth and human presence. This juxtaposition underscores not only what was taken, but what is possible: freedom, hope, and recovery. Designing Dystopia doesn't merely explore sets and wardrobes. It digs deeper into how these visual choices emotionally guide the viewer through June Osborne's journey. Her transformation from silent sufferer to empowered rebel is echoed in the shifting aesthetic, from tightly framed, sterile environments to looser, more organic compositions filled with life and movement. Every change in tone, shadow, and saturation is in conversation with her evolution. The creative minds behind The Handmaid's Tale understood that storytelling doesn't stop at the script. It's the curve of a staircase, the dull gleam of a commander's office, the way light falls across a handmaid's face in silence. These choices are deliberate and powerful. They create tension, evoke empathy, and shape how we interpret resistance. This deep visual commitment extended into every corner of production. Costume designer Ane Crabtree, for instance, didn't just design garments. She crafted armor for a war that was often fought without weapons. The clothing speaks, even when the characters cannot. The transformation of June's appearance over the seasons, from the submissive handmaid's cloak to utilitarian civilian garb, mirrors her shifting role in the revolution. Likewise, the cinematography evolved from a language of confinement to one of disruption. The once balanced compositions begin to tilt. Lighting grows harsher or warmer, depending on the moral weight of the scene. Symmetry collapses as chaos emerges. Visual stillness gives way to kinetic urgency. The world of Gilead isn't just breaking, it's being actively rewritten. The colonies, one of the most disturbing settings in the series, exemplify design with psychological impact. Their barren, toxic landscapes reflect the regime's disregard for life deemed disposable. Even here, the camera lingers on contrasts, ashes and skin, poison and prayer, using visual tension to evoke both horror and resilience. And in moments of defiance, design becomes a rallying cry. Whether it's June staring defiantly into the lens, or a gathering of handmaids refusing to kneel, these are scenes where image and message converge. The aesthetic becomes action. Designing Dystopia reminds us that Gilead is a character in its own right, one whose story is told not through lines of dialogue, but through visual poetry. The way a room is lit, the fabric of a dress, the symmetry of a hallway, each detail is a voice in the chorus of rebellion and survival. In the end, as The Handmaid's Tale closes its final chapter, what remains is a world built not only from fiction but from a haunting familiarity. Designing Dystopia is a tribute not just to the pain and power embedded in the series, but to the artists and technicians who shaped its unforgettable tone. As the season closes, we're left with a sense of peaceful renewal. Amy and Nathan have found their rhythm, the ranch is thriving, and that tiny baby? It's proof that even after loss, joy can bloom again. So, what's next for Heartland? Only time will tell. But one thing's certain, this family's story is far from over. Drop a comment below. What was your favorite moment this season? How do you think parenthood will change Amy and Nathan? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Heartland breakdowns. Until next time, keep believing in second chances, fresh starts, and the magic of a little ranch in Alberta.